Battle to the death, fighting till I take my last breath, till there's nothing left, till this flesh, till this past tense. Got up on the fence, henceforth disintense. I was lost, now a friend, now a force with the pen for the Lord.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Marrio Esco Live. I am your host, Marrio Esco. And drum roll, please. Brrr, brrr. Alongside me.
¿Qué pasa?
Bro, where's the keypad?
Where's the keypad? Right there, bro.
All right, we'll use this one. How about that? Good thinking.
Chuleta.
Good thinking, man. Quick on your toes, my brother. Oh, you wash your hands?
All right, go wash your hands.
Hey, what up, everybody? I'm your host, Marrio Esco. Alongside me is my good friend, co-host, Gil Vargas.
Mira que te pasa. What up?
What up, people? We got a special guest in the building today. Last 4 episodes, real quick, we had 10 artists, 10 different states. Today, we got another different state, which is dope. But after some thinking and some situations that came up,
some pondering.
We decided to pull back a little bit on that many interviews and our focus as well. We love the community, CHH, Christian Hip Hop, and we're going to continue to serve that community because we come from that. We're a part of that community one way or another. Like we love Christ, we love hip hop. It is what it is, But I feel like we finally come to the conclusion where, we understand what it is.
Yeah.
We understand what it is. We understand that it is a culture of individuals who all embrace the same thing, right? One way or another when it comes to Christianity and hip hop. But we also understand that there is an infrastructure there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I always had the impression that there is no infrastructure. There's actually an infrastructure there.
Yeah, there is.
You know what I mean? There's actually people who are influencers who are pretty much coordinating behind the scenes the direction and the path of CHH.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, I mean, we're praying for the best. But we decided, you know what, man? I enjoy just chilling, having a good time, opening up about different discussions and whatnot, and just having a good time, man. Yeah. No longer is this a platform that we want to build up. Nah.
Let's make Marrio Esco.
Nah. Now it's becoming an excuse to go online and chill with a bunch of friends.
Yeah, man.
That's what we're gonna do, man. That's what we're gonna do. So with that said, moving forward, we won't have all the. I say that because in the last 4 episodes, we had 3 guests.
Bombarding y'all.
3 guests. And I don't want y'all to get spoiled and think that every single episode moving forward is gonna be that many guests. So, but we still want to serve. We're still gonna do the music videos, the featured videos, and I'm still excited about building with the audience. I'm excited about our guest today, man. Real talk.
Me as well.
It's
gonna be super lit.
Facts.
Can't wait.
Facts. So shout out to our listeners, all of our listeners. Shout out to our radio show listeners, GH3 Radio, 520 Radio, Godify, and the Bridge Radio, our YouTube subscribers. We love y'all. If you haven't yet, check up on the screen. If you guys are following the live, there's our YouTube channel there. Be sure to go and subscribe. My Facebook listeners and my Twitch listeners, all my audience, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. We're trying to build that up. So,
hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button, man. Go subscribe. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Unashamed Network audience. What's up, y'all? I see y'all. Our podcasters, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
We do.
Special shout out to Godify, one of our partners.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at one of their feeds right now on Facebook.
Godify, it pretty much streams entertaining Christian content, so that's what they primarily focus on. So you have different artists, you have artists that put up music, you have sermons, you have all different kinds of stuff. Go check out Godify and definitely download their app. We love y'all. Make sure you guys go check out D2LProductions.com. We got merch available there. We got these hats available there that we're rocking. We got these mugs, actually. Mine is not fully. There you go. That's what it looked like. We got the mugs. We got some things there. If you guys want to support, that's our only way to support right now. We're still building in the back end, the system and whatnot. You know, again, we're not.
It's a good quality hat, too.
Oh,
gotta say.
Facts. Absolutely. I'm not knocking it whatsoever.
It's actually
but we still want to build out the store as well. We got some ideas that we're working on. But like I said, we're full-time husbands, full-time, we're full-time jobs and serving this community on the side. So would we love for it to get to a position where we can go above and beyond what we're doing right now? Absolutely. I wish that we had more, support in that area. Maybe it's us to blame. I don't know. Maybe not in God's timing or whatnot, but keep us lifted in that area. We would love to go to take this above and beyond even what we're doing now. Share the show, leave a review, subscribe to the stuff, do that stuff.
Do that there.
Recap last episode. We had Big Breeze jump on with us. It was dope listening to him share his journey about him finding his sound, his desire to honor God, and how he came to engage with Christian hip hop, and he encouraged persistence and perseverance. Super dope. Talked about Cam Ben and Rapzilla dropping these fire music videos. Lying to Me was one of them. Ruslan dropped some music videos. I think he's trying to drop one every week. He just dropped a fire one last week with Stephen Malcolm. That was dope. And we shared Superfly, Big Breeze, Young Noah, Jetpack. So that was last week. If that interests y'all, go peep last week's episode.
The vibes.
Put the Scarecrows up. I don't know which what episode was that?
Up.
Yeah, what that's the name of the title.
That was the last episode.
Yeah, what was it, 96?
Yeah.
Episode 96. Go check it out. All right, we're going to jump into
it. Why did you name it Put Up the Scarecrows?
I don't remember. You know how we do. All right, go check out. We're gonna jump into a skit. Here's Clean Fun Comedy Pizza Party featuring Manny, Rivera, Gil Vargas, Brent, Tavares, and myself. Yeah. All right, guys, why don't we bow our heads for this meal? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meal, Lord. We thank you for the hands that prepped it. I pray that it gives us strength as men, Lord, to provide and give us the energy that we need.
Amen, amen, amen. Father, we thank you for this food, this healthy food. Just pray that our bodies extract the vitamins and minerals from it, Lord, just like we extract the milk and meat from your word, Lord, and that your word pierces through the bones and the marrow, Lord, and this food gets right down into the middle of us, Lord.
Amen. Lord, I pray that you dive into this food, Lord, and fill every morsel with your spirit. That when it hits my tongue, Lord, that I just feel your presence, Lord.
Amen, brother. Let's eat.
Yo, fellas, I got this fit and funny, man. I really don't think I should have ate this, bro.
Bro, but we prayed for the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Bro, but we paid for the pizza.
I paid for it.
I prayed and paid for it.
We delayed for the pizza.
Yeah, so that was us praying for the food and eating a bunch of junk food.
Somehow the calories is burnt.
Oh man, that was that. So Gil, what's good, bro? How was your week this week?
So far, it's been good, man. Work is getting busier because stuff is opening up. So everybody's getting excited. Seeing more and more people walking in the streets. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little.
How do you
more
feel
normal.
about that? You feel safe and comforted, or?
I mean, I'm still taking my precautions regardless. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm not looking at it like anything different. I'm still staying away from people. I'm still
keeping it safe.
Washing my hands. Daily routine.
Yeah.
Everybody should have.
You're still staying clean. All right.
Wash yourself.
Show me what you're wearing.
Show me what
Yeah.
Wash yourself.
No, okay, we get. That's exactly what you need to do right now.
I'm just saying, man. As long as you wash yourself, you're good.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. How's the family feel about it?
The family's feeling Bored. Because my family's the ones that stay home. Like my kids has to stay home all the time. My wife works from home, so she's home all the time. So it's really just like angst to just want to like get out, do something. So just trying to find creative ways to just take them out, man. But I did take them to a dope spot in Newport, and it's like an open field. You can see the ocean. It was
Thank you, Josh. I see your
It
comment.
was dope. It was super dope. So,
Brandon, what up? Keeping it safe. I see you. What up, fellas? Got a special guest coming in a few. Thank you for rocking with us. Josh, thanks for reminding me about what I forgot about.
Remind him about what?
About what I was, the scarecrows.
Oh, the culture
to keep away the culture vultures or the Steelers or the,
like,
the whatever.
I'm like, he got scarecrows.
It's culture vultures, man.
Put up the scarecrows. I'm like,
it's culture vultures, my man.
He's I don't remember.
I don't remember, man. We just honestly, we just talk and just have a good time. You know, that's what it's all about. But yeah, no, I feel you, bro. Work is dope. It's starting to pick up. I wouldn't say dope, actually. Let me. I'm thankful.
I wouldn't say dope.
I'm thankful that the Lord
my job ain't dope. What am I thinking?
has given me a way to provide for my family.
That's it. Yeah,
that is the way to be to think about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Fact.
but it is a battle. You know what I mean? Because you know. You love other things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I gotta mix this track, man. Oh man, I gotta
mix this
oh man,
track.
I gotta work on this. Oh man, like you just constantly like, man, in the middle of a mixer, you gotta walk away from it. You know what that's like, bro?
You
know what that's like? Can you imagine? How about this?
I would imagine it feels terrible.
How about this? You know those people that are like workaholics that need to finish that project. You need to finish that assignment. You can't be distracted by anything. You're trying to leave work at work. You come home and the only thing you're thinking about is that project.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I need to, I know there's people out there that can relate to that. That's what it's like for me as an artist when I'm working on the track and I'm like, I got to wake up early in the morning to go to work. Like that's what it's like. It's like I'm walking away from that project. And as I'm trying to maintain just a desire to create, because that's really what it is, just a desire to create, right? As I'm trying to maintain that hunger and that thirst to glorify God with that and wrestle with that area, I'm also, when I leave work, I got projects there I got to complete. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you're living this.
You legit have to split your mind.
You know what I mean?
You're going from like technical stuff to writing and emotion.
Chuleta, blessings. What up, fam? Amen. It's a blessing.
Like, how do you have to be able to like switch your mind on a drop of a dime, because you go from talking about technical things and how to fix this virus and how to get this printer to work and that to go from that to writing about emotion and sin and glory to God and like that's like I think legit.
I think it's just
your
an
brain
age
in
thing.
half.
I don't think that's I think that's just an age thing. Honestly, I think we're all like, I don't know.
What you saying that once you get to a certain age, you develop
maybe
the skill?
Maybe it's our generation. You know what I'm saying? That are all feeling the same thing. Like we're like, dang, everybody told us to go to college. Like the college ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but I mean, I'm talking about in regards to how you split your mind from work to being an artist.
Go ahead.
Like you split it down the middle.
My bad.
Like,
I misunderstood. Go ahead. You split down the middle.
So you going from being a technical guy and talking about like circuitries and why this is not working and this technicalities to dropping all that technicality because now you need to be loose and free and emotional and you have to think about how you're gonna write this song and the vibes and it's like two totally different mind frames and you have to go back and forth all the time.
Yeah, bro.
You're always busy.
Can you imagine? We have an individual friend. I don't want to get like personal with it, but who works a very stressful, high stress job, very, very stressful job. And then on the side, they make brilliant masterpieces with art, bro.
You mean like painters?
Oh, just production, I don't want to say names and do that, but I'm saying like they have a very high stressful job, rightfully so. They're in,
a high stress job.
There you go. Yeah, I don't want to. Anyway, yeah. But they have this crazy creative mind. And it's like you have to work hours upon hours on that skill to get on that level. Like, how in the world do you have a whole career and yet you have the ability to master all this stuff, man? It's crazy.
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
You know,
That's crazy.
it's just when you're creative.
You have to have some kind of a little bit of insanity.
Goyi says, I don't bring home my work, but I take my music to work. Shh.
I take my music to work.
I take my music to work with me.
Facts.
Yeah, you know what? Same here, dude. You know what? I thought it was gonna be out of pride that I wanted to get to the point where I didn't write my rhymes. You know, I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a desire, like a desire. Hold on. Before you say a word, brother, I just see you pop in. I see you up in here. Hold on. Let me do this properly. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest just hopped in. And I'm super excited about this. It's probably going to be a hot mess a little bit because I got to switch camera things around and whatnot. But, brother, you in here? Can you say what's up? Can you say hello?
Marrio.
Yeah, you go. Hold on. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. I got some audio. Hold on one second. Ladies and gentlemen, up and coming. Let me get the hand claps here. Up and coming Christian hip hop artist out of Miami, Florida.
Listen.
Super dope artist, man. I got put on to you by the Prayer Plug, man. You might know him for the Christ bars 1, 2, and 3 just dropped. 3 just dropped when, brother?
I probably dropped 3 like 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, so that's still recent.
Hey, listen, man, I can't see y'all videos.
My brother. I'm sorry, brother. My brother. K Cartel is in the building, yo, bro.
See, wait. Nah, bro.
Hold on,
See.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna allow him to do you dirty like that. I'm not gonna allow him. I'm not gonna allow Mario to do you.
Go ahead.
Mario always be saying people's names wrong, man.
Wait, it's K Cartel.
No, it's K Cartel.
Oh,
K Cartel.
Okay, K Cartel.
That's how you say his name, right?
Hey yo, K Cartel is in the building, brother. What's good, man?
That's not his name without the pause.
Listen.
Come on.
Hey, look, it's K Cartel in the spot. I gotta get it while it's hot.
Oh,
put me on the block and I'm gonna give books of truth. You know I'm in the booth. I had to let it loose.
Okay.
Huh? Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now. Ain't nobody come in off an introduction with a bar.
You know how bad we wanted to do like stuff like that, dude? I think you're the first one to rap on the mic.
He is the first one to do it.
No,
legit. You were the first one to do it.
Brother, man. That's what's up, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I had a written that I came up just with the show, but it was only one bar. And I'm gonna do it off the top. Check. You ready?
Go, do it.
Go ahead, bro. This platform's yours.
Mario, Gil, the best show on the planet. Everybody thought Michael Jackson was bad until they seen Janet. Chill out.
Yo, that's the best ending to a bar I have ever heard in my life.
You can't hear it, but it's happening in the background. I can't wait for you to go check it out, brother.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, bro. That was fire. That was a fire verse. I appreciate you, brother.
I already consider this gonna be my favorite interview.
Yo, so brother,
I gotta tell y'all, like,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Do your thing.
No, I was gonna say, but y'all gotta know, like, when I woke up this morning, all I could think about was 8:15. 8:15. What I'm gonna do? 8:15.
Like, getting his swag.
So dope, bro.
Hey, look. Check. I only gotta worry about the top half.
Yeah. You don't gotta sweat the. Okay, I got.
Yeah,
yo, likewise, brother. Likewise,
bro. Likewise. I knew. Just by reading the messages, it's gonna be a vibe.
That's kind of awkward because I got my dude actually sitting next to me. Hold up, one second. Let me think this through. Hold on. I meant my shoes. I got sandals on. My bad. I got sandals. Yo, so brother, how's it out there for you, man, in Florida, bro? How's like life going as an artist in the middle of this pandemic, bro?
That's crazy.
And listen, actually, bro,
you out in Miami, right?
Yeah, I'm in Miami.
What's the temp out there? What's it like out there?
Man, it's like a good 206 Fahrenheit.
Man, yo, brother,
206.
We must be living in end times because it was snowing over here last week.
Oh, for real? Hey, where y'all at again?
Massachusetts.
We're about an hour away from Boston.
Let me tell y'all something, man. I love Massachusetts, bro.
Oh, okay.
I went to Boston on a college tour back my sophomore year.
What?
I'll never forget it. The Dunkin' Donuts on every corner. You know,
Legit.
Facts, brother.
Everywhere.
Donuts, like, hey, Subway. What's the which I don't know if y'all call it Subways. We call them Metro Rails here, but the trains.
Yeah.
You got Dunkin' Donuts in the trains.
Yeah, brother, man. We make sure. We make sure
you can literally throw your hat in the air and it will land on a Dunkin' Donuts. It'll probably fall in somebody's cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
I was getting dizzy because it's like, listen, with me not being from there,
every stop. It's like
okay, am I walking in circles or is this legit?
Yo, and it's crazy because it's like in different areas of the U.S., it's like completely different. So like in Cali, I lived in Cali for a while, and all you saw was Starbucks. Right. Dunkin' Donuts don't exist. It's like, what is a Dunkin' Donuts? It's Starbucks. You are obligated to spend $7 for a small coffee, no matter what, because there's no other option unless you get gas station.
So what do you got out there now for you, man? Like, if
I know Miami. What's the preferred choice of coffee? The weirdest conversation I ever had on an interview is what coffee you drink, bro.
The thing is, I'm not a coffee person.
Interview over.
We drinking coffee as we speak, brother.
Facts.
I'm about to get a refill in a sec.
If I could keep it a buck with you, I'm more of a Nesquik, strawberry milk type of dude.
Okay, so you and my daughter will be best friends, man.
Hey,
you and my daughter will be
it up.
Like this. Her and the shake, she like.
Yo, but it seemed like the pandemic ain't slowing you up a bit, brother, man. I mean, how you dropping these videos? Don't you got like rules and regulations out there?
It don't apply to K-Car
breaking law, bro.
It don't apply to K-Car tail.
Hey, listen, it's by God's it's
by God's grace he hasn't got. It's by God's grace he hasn't gotten caught yet.
Listen, bro.
He's like, yo, this says do not trespass.
It definitely says that.
It definitely
like literally.
Facts.
Hey, so
that's the
out,
untold secret of CHH, brother. You can't tell people about those abandoned buildings we be filming in.
Yeah, man.
The untold secret.
Listen, hey, you talk about persecution. Like I be playing with it, like looking for it. You know what I'm saying?
So you one of them dudes that be driving and just driving around and see a building and be like, cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Little mental picture, like,
Brent is
That's
laughing.
it. Gotta remember this spot.
Right
you know what's up.
And as you're going home, you already thinking of the concept. Like, all right, I got arrested. I'm driving down the street.
I just had it yesterday. It's a park called Ben Skalinsky.
Go ahead.
Right? It's in
Ben
Palmetto Bay on the other side.
Yeah,
it's weird.
So what happened?
They weird like that, but that's on the other That's on the other side of US 1. On the other side of I stay in Paran, so that's like Palmetto Bay area. Ben Skalinsky.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But, I got you. Go ahead.
The houses over there is like, 7 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It's the uppity area. You feel me? So I knew I was taking my chances over there, like, because the park closed at sunset, 5 o'clock.
That's like as soon as you step on the line, a cop is pulling up on you already.
That's like they're ready.
Like you're not even. If you're not driving a Lexus or a Mercedes, you're not even supposed to be in the
fishy.
area.
Nah.
You feel me?
Facts.
Like, is that a Dodge? We don't do those.
We don't do those.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yo,
that's
the
facts,
thing is,
bro.
That's
they
crazy.
Look at the model. They look at the year. I'm telling you, brother. They're like,
not
hold up.
all rich people buy expensive cars. I know some rich people that drive a humble Honda. So they go in there and they're like, no, we don't do those. And they probably got more money than them. Sorry, we don't do Honda here.
Ew, arrest him. No,
we don't want to get Honda on our road.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, across the street on that side of US 1, ain't no Hondas, baby. You're lucky if you find one, and that might be an Uber. So you better.
And it might be an Uber, and even the Uber.
So what are you trying?
Sorry, we don't do those Ubers here.
You filmed in the area?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. At Ben Skalaski.
So you actually filmed in the spot. Man. You didn't get no like slow drive-bys and like.
Hey, listen, this is the funny part. They was jogging in the neighborhood. They seen the car, they looked back. Because they know this ain't normal. So
they see the camera. Plus they see the camera. That's that's like a what these dudes doing over here.
Hey, listen, they on go with it. Binoculars in the window. Check the tag. So but yeah, so the girl who was jogging, when we parked on the other side of the park, she ended up jogging through the park. Now I see cars creeping slowly. I'm kind of paranoid because this is not my area.
Yeah, you
But
got to
the
keep
park
a straight
is
face
perfect.
as you're rapping,
feel
right?
me?
You got
But the crazy part was I seen other people in the park that was from the neighborhood. When I seen that, and I figured we was both breaking, you know what I'm saying, trespassing grounds. Hey, look, I'm pointing fingers. Hey, what about homie?
Yo.
You know, I'm with her.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I bet you they rolled up on you and they were like,
just 2 seconds.
Wait a minute. What are these? What is happening? And then they heard, then they hear the music and they're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know
it's
what?
Like that. Yeah,
you just go ahead and do your thing.
Hey, peep this, right? So in the video shoot, it's 3 black males and we in all black. We kind of on the white part of town, shooting the video inside of Ben Skolaski Park. I can't even pronounce the name. You feel me?
I got you.
I got it, bro.
Yeah. And so it, like they look like hood dudes, but we just sitting there rapping about Jesus, like,
bro. Facts.
They probably were vibing to it.
I knew it was good, bro. I knew it was good to go, man. Like I'm a Christian.
Yeah, facts, brother. Yo,
I might not be in this shirt and tie. I'm in this NFL throwback.
Yo, and you don't have to be, brother. You don't have to be.
Right. You ain't gotta be, 100%. Man.
You know what I mean?
100%. Amen.
That's actually something that we talk about, you know, and it's not talked about enough on public platforms. So I want to make sure I say that right. And it's like, just because we're Christians don't mean that we have to shy away from our culture.
Truly.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes 100%. People think like you have to act a certain way. And, you know, if you grew up in the hood and wearing baggy jeans or wearing Timbs and wearing a jersey is your attire, you shouldn't be shunned just because that's how you grew up. And they're like, well, now that you're a Christian, 100%. You should dress proper. Like, what's proper?
Nah, that's not what that means.
Like, what do you mean by proper? Are you saying I can't be myself? That's basically what you're saying.
Right. Faking to be something I'm not. You feel me? So
were you brother? Were you brought up in a Christian home?
So like it's a 50-50.
It's a tricky situation.
Tricky, man. It's
I got you.
My mother was the one who was real solid in the faith and was taking me to the church house, and you feel me, going up like that. And then my pops, on the other hand, he was in the background, laid back. I'm not 100. I know he had some type of belief, but we wasn't the sticklers, you know.
Right, yeah.
And when it came to you know, the traditional stuff like that, it wasn't nothing traditional about the way I came up.
I got you.
So yeah,
I think I can relate 100% in a whole different way, but I understand. So was that the influence that drew you to your faith now? Like, was that instilled in you young and then you came to faith with that?
100%. 100%. Because of that foundation that was laid at such a young age, man. I will always put that into effect. Right. So that there is a God and he does care.
Right.
He'll never leave me. He died for my sins. And I didn't know the full scope of that. But because it was planted in me, I could. So when I was struggling with the FCAT, you feel me? When I was struggling with the FCAT and I couldn't pass after so many years, like, Lord, and you know what I'm saying? Help me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, I done passed the FCAT. I'm able to graduate. And all different types of situations. When I was caught up in a jam, you know what I'm saying? Doing stuff I wasn't supposed to.
There was favor.
There was
favor and blessing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so yeah,
dope,
man,
bro.
that definitely has a strong, like 98% of who I am. Like, you know, I ain't see the magnitude of it when I was going through it, but now I look back and I was like, dang, Lord, you preserved me like that. You know?
So I can see where this whole Christian hip hop came into place, because now you're saying Mom Dukes was the one that kind of influenced that, the Christian foundation, and Pop Dukes was the one who introduced you to hip hop, right?
Kind of, sort of. I say this with him, it's more so of a music thing, right? In general, my pops was a DJ. Like we still got DJ equipment in the next room.
I got you.
So it wasn't even just limited to hip hop. I'm talking about R&B, 90s,
so the whole
2000s,
landscape of
the
music.
whole
So hip hop is
landscape.
what captivated
Wow.
you, but you were exposed to it all.
Everything, bruh. The Al Greens, the Luther
Wow.
Vandrosses, the Whitney Houstons, the
That's dope.
Michael
Mm.
Jacksons, the everything, man. And I'm grateful for that because first of all, I love music. Like I love that. Just the whole range of it. You feel me? From the hip hop, rap, fast thing to the chill R&B, slow vibe with some nice singing, some Peebo Bryson, some Kenny Lattimore, man, Jodeci, all of that, man, all of that. That's my, you know what I'm saying? I grew up off of that. My pops put a radio in my room, and this is why, like, it was always music. So I was one of the ones going to sleep. The Hot 105, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm down here, you know, 99
Hold up.
jams or whatever. So
Hold up. Were you the
I'm
kid that
waking
was
up
like listening to the
Tony
lyrics and like rewinding and listening, like trying to learn all the words? Were you that kind of?
Yeah. With the slow songs, maybe not necessarily the rapping until I got a little older.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, like the Anita Baker's Something Easy That's Easy to Remember, because it's like a melody, you know. So I could captivate the words. And sometimes I didn't know what they were saying until I got of age, right?
Right. Yeah.
But at that time I was singing my little heart out.
Not gonna lie, growing up, I listened to a lot of them.
So when you first started recording, were you singing or were you rapping?
Oh, no, I was definite. You know what?
Were you?
That's a great
What
question.
happened?
That's a great.
Hold
My
up.
first song, I'm surprised that you even asked this question, bro. My first song I sang on the track.
Really?
I sang on the track.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. And it was like one of them love songs.
That's what's up.
Yo, you gotta dig that out the crates, brother. You got Yo, please find that, send that my way, brother. Like,
hey, you will be
that would be fire.
Yo, you might even be able to repurpose that. You know what I'm saying? Like
truly
use an old track from your old self and make it like new.
Throw it in the chorus or something and tuck it in the
that
background.
That right there is a gem in the tuck.
Hey,
that's G14 classified.
Was it secular or Christian?
It was definitely secular.
So
bro.
you were doing secular
That's
music
all right
first.
though. You could redeem it. Redeem
How
it.
long were you doing secular before you crossed over to Christian hip hop?
2 years.
2 years?
About 2 years. I started taking music seriously like 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stepped into CHH officially 2018. That's where I was making that crossover, but I didn't get on the scene until August of last year, of 2019.
Well, bro, that's a quick come up because
yeah,
you just popped in my radar out of nowhere,
Really?
dude. It was you amongst a few other brothers, like Glow was one of them, Breeze was one of them, a few other brothers, Zay Hill. Like there was a few individuals that just kept popping up. Plus, of course, Mad Love. I don't know if you know the Prayer Plug. If you heard of the Prayer Plug.
Listen,
Mad love
boys,
to the Prayer Plug because they're always putting us on.
Hey, respect and homage to them brothers, man.
Absolutely, brother.
Remember when they put me up on game? Like I didn't ask for promo. They just went ahead and reposted one of my videos and showed love that way. So then I followed them and seeing how they was putting everybody on. And actually, my first feature came about through the Prayer Plug, like because there was my exposure into CHH.
Oh,
so I was
so the Prayer Plug put you on the Christian hip hop.
Wow. Yeah, listen, I wasn't a Lecrae fan. I didn't know too much about
Wow.
See, and
I
that's
didn't know about
this right here is what I was talking about.
Hey, listen, do me a favor, bro. Real talk. Go back and listen to my entire show. Yo, real talk. If you want to learn about Christian hip hop, go back. I'm sure that there will be people. I promise you, Cartel. There will be people to reach out to you and say, "Don't listen to a word this dude say."
At least somebody.
Don't listen to a word this dude say. But let me tell you, bro, in all honesty, and I mean this with all legit like transparency 100%, this entire show started with us having grievances toward the culture and the community that you're entering in now as independent artists who've been, a part of this, genre community. And at first it was this thing like, we saw that there was some strongholds and some things happening that were not they weren't okay, man. They weren't right.
Mm.
So we wanted to address those things. But as we continue to address these things, like we realized that, hold up, that's how we got introduced to K Cartel. That's how we got introduced to the Prayer Plug. That's how we got introduced to all these other artists. And I'm like, hold up a second. There are people within this community that are doing it with true passion and joy and true desire to unify, to come together, to really just build one another up and not have these.
It actually fueled us because it made us now want to fight for artists like yourselves. Because that was one of our grievances is that we always saw the same artists being pushed up.
Yeah, what about the up and coming? What about the people,
and now we come to find out that there's a whole ocean of dope artists that I never heard of. And they're like, yo, I've been out for 5 years. Or I've been out for like 10 years. Or I've been out for like 12. And I'm like, how could I not heard of you, bro?
Yeah.
You will be surprised as to the amount of people that's really out here really putting in work for the kingdom, and it's fire.
Yeah. So talk about that. How's the Christian hip hop community out in Miami, Florida? What's the scene like?
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I never thought there was even a CHH community in Miami, because when you think of Miami, you think of partying, you think of half-nakedness.
Yeah.
Not CHH community, bro.
So to capitalize off that, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna just be totally honest and transparent with you.
Go ahead.
I know that it has to be somebody else out here doing work for the kingdom, but we not necessarily plugged in out. Now I stay in Dade County. That's like Miami on down, like North Miami on down. But then you have Broward. So my first collab outside of my people that I deal with in the church, the people was in Broward. And so Broward is separate from Miami, right? And so as far as I know, I think it's one cat. I can't pronounce his name. It's AKELSSO, Alexo or something like that. I came across him one time. And I think it's another cat, Best of CHH Music up in North Miami. But other than that, it's not a big scene out here, bro. It's not. And I really feel like you really feel different and called out and you know what I'm saying? Like I got a brother, Devin, and a brother Jamie. I met Jamie in the church and I grew up with Devin. And right now we got this thing where we trying to just come together as brothers, pray over the whole ministry and see what the Lord got in store for us when it comes to pertaining for music. But outside of that, bro, I could tell you, like, I feel like I'm the only one in Miami. This is separating from Broward.
Wow.
That's really trying to push. Other than the two that I mentioned, but like I say, I'm on the south end of Miami. So you got Miami Beach. I'm like probably 20 minutes south of that.
Well, brother, your name came across my radar all the way out in Massachusetts, man. Like your music just hit my feed, and I've been blessed since moving forward. And I'm happy that I'm able to have you on the show. You were definitely one of the names that I had in my head that I was gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna reach out to to get him on the show. But I wasn't sure how long you've been in the community, so I wasn't sure if you were already polluted by them brothers and you wouldn't come on the show. So I was able to be fortunate enough. The Lord gave me favor to grab you before
your pollution,
before they bring you into that, and they bring you behind the scenes and they make you dress up in a robe and do all this weird.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like before you get that weird tattoo,
no Illuminati
on the
man.
On the back of your neck, underneath the left side. No. Yo, if I end up going ghost, you know why? Like.
Because you was exposing the real.
Yo, brother, but we're about to jump into this featured music video. Can you give me a little bit of behind the scenes on the video? Who filmed it? The story behind it? Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the video. I call it the Crossway. Originally, it came out. It was called Christ Captain, right? But I did the Rapzilla critique, and they were suggesting that I change the name of it and stuff like that. And we was gonna go ahead and do the whole process where they was gonna help, feature me. Somewhere along the lines that died down. It didn't happen, but my people were still asking about the song. Dope. So at that point, I had renamed it or whatever the case is, and I finally put it up. I dropped the video to it. So this right here is called The Crossway. This came up. I wrote this a year ago. Funny part, 2019, when I was still stepping in, and it's just my heart, bro. it's just like I rap from the heart. So that's where it come from. It was shot at Florida International University. That's FIU. We're gonna be on one of the garage floors, man. ShotByShak, one of the dudes that's been shooting some of my videos, man. And yeah, so that's the track, the Crossway, man. I hope y'all
and what
enjoy.
what about projects? Is this gonna be a part of an album, or is this gonna be a part of like what do you got in the works?
Hey, so listen, man. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm just dropping singles right now.
Okay, all right, cool.
And my goal is I'm gonna get to 100 followers on my Spotify. When I get to 100 followers on my Spotify, that's when I'm dropping my first album. When I have 100 followers,
that's
on
a
my
dope
Spotify.
strategy.
So until then, I'm just dropping them.
Dope. So do you want to? So where can they find you on Spotify? Just look up K.Cartel.
Yeah, K.Cartel on Spotify. I think there's another K Cartel, but he's been dormant, hasn't made music, and he wasn't. I don't remember seeing him when I was trying to get on, but
you should have changed it to a dash.
You got to name it and proclaim it, bro. Take that name back. Like,
yeah, no, that's yeah. So I
get that name back.
Hey, look, the reason why he wasn't there is because I'm here. I'm the real one.
Oh, there you go, brother.
Yo, and I want to reiterate, this video is unreleased, special. Yeah. For Marrio Esco live, like that's dope.
Hand clap, like that. Yo, hand clap.
Nobody has seen this video before. This is the first time being watched right here.
All right, here's the Crossway, K Cartel. Here we go.
Let's get it.
Christian comeback season.
Christians can't rap. So then.
Look, remember that you were created. In this likeness and image they hated. That joy from your walk, how you finding that loss, how you carry that cross they can't take it. Evil luck in that field be so vicious. But my faith had me all in them trenches. Chipotle was doing them dishes. Trying to stunt for my baby on Christmas. Had enough of the stress, how I stress when I'm blessed, it just don't make no sense. Serve me a God that is true, not a fraud. Laid his life for the flawed, on my knees I repent. Caught on this mission, but caught up in habits that seem to get tragic. My mind it be missing. Struggles are different, I'm lacking in vision. Out of pocket tuition like fourth in them inches. Made a decision in spite of the fact. As a matter of fact, I'ma give you some facts. Walking this path out of places I lack. G.O.D. got my back, we gon' get into that. Closet creeped open, my wounds be exposing. Weakness be potent, suspicious be jack. Mind it be floating, that flesh should be gloating. Can't car with is good, I just knew you be back. No time to play, I came to slay. Locked in them loaded while toting this strap. Sold out for Christ, he gave me life. All for his glory, I snap in my raps. I ain't even gon' cap. I ain't even gon' cap. Running in circles, it's lap after lap. I was so lost, but that love brought me back. Filled with that power in places I lack. Out on a mission, just pass me the map. All for the glory of Christ who gave me new life. I ain't even gon' cap. Ayy, choices may result in consequences. Let a young brother preach. Moral laws out that good book that is God's mind. Let a young brother teach. Ayy, running in circles, that blood turning purple. Overthinking, be anxious for nothing. You not by yourself, but you work by yourself, and you wonder why it's always a struggle. Facts. Glory to Christ, gave you true life. Missing link to completing this puzzle. You get it, all in the dirt, pain in the hurt, but he dug you right out with his shovel. You dig it, out on this road, no place to go, but his presence, the place that you safe. Marathon, not a sprint. Just be content in your pace. Keep all the trust in the faith. We called it enduring this race. Our God, he do not make mistakes. We witness his glory that way. Sky's turning blue, God got us through, but he gets all the honor and praise. To show gratitude, how he made me new, I will serve him the rest of my days. Hey. I ain't even gon' cap. Running in circles, it's lap after lap. I was so lost, but that love brought me back. Filled with that power in places I lack. Out on a mission, just pass me the map. All for the glory of Christ, gave me new life. I ain't even gon' cap. Look, elevated, degrees of glory, they be elevating. Not from this world, so I be levitating. Started stepping while you hesitating. Lord is waiting on you. Broken hearted, but that love got me through. Introduced me to new life, that is great. Walking joy, peace, and all the above. Fruits of spirit, they be all on my plate. Heat, know that it's more on the way. Peep, walk with the sword every day. Ayy, demons be hating right next to that Satan. We going to war every day. Down on my knees, gotta pray. Look at temptation and slay. Down for whatever, that light in me popping. Just knowing that Christ is the way. Ayy, I ain't even gon' cap. Running in circles, it's lap after lap. I was so lost, but that love brought me back. Filled with this power in places I lack. Out on a mission, just pass me the map. All for the glory of Christ who gave me new life. I ain't even gon' cap. Ayy.
Fire, yo, K Cartel, man, the Crossway, man. Where's the hand claps at? There you go, man.
A lot of people might
fire.
look at this video and be like, "Oh, what a cliche! He's on the roof. You know, who hasn't done that? In my opinion, you found the most creative way.
I can watch that all. I could be like just vibing with you all day.
In my opinion,
let's go vibe.
You found the most creative way to social distance and still have a dope video.
Yo, facts.
He's thousands of feet up in the air. That's social distance and then some.
See, if you had that Drake money, you had the drone shot like going. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you could have just took your cell phone, put it on record, and throw it in the air a couple times.
Hey, brother. Real talk.
That's the hood drone.
Real talk. It was an honor to have you on. Why don't you share again one more time? Just remind the people where they can find you, the links you want to share. You have the stage right now. Go ahead and mark it. Promote,
so man, first off, shout out to Marrio, Esco, and the whole podcast. My brother bro. Gil, my brother Marrio. I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate it, man. We love you, man.
Mutual, man. And y'all remember me when y'all blow. Let's blow together. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts, bro.
This is my first real interview. And it's with y'all, so it's an honor. Just the day of
no, that's an honor for us, man. Brother. That's what I'm saying. That's an honor for us, man. Yo, the feeling is mutual for real, bro. Like that's real talk from the heart, man. You don't even understand. I was feeling discouraged at this past weekend, and then you came through and encouraged me in a big way, bro. You got us over here on your side. That's real talk. You can test me on that. You could screenshot, just like a lot of people screenshot. You could screenshot, save the receipts. Yo, I'm gonna be on your side. All you're gonna get is a bunch of love, brother. All you're gonna get is a bunch of love.
You already got a whole file on you, bro.
Yeah, trust me.
You ain't playing.
I'm over here, y'all.
Go ahead. All right, my brother, man. We love you, man. Grace and peace, bro.
All right, man. God bless.
Peace, man.
Dope, man. Shout out to K Cartel.
Dope, man. He's mad chill.
Shout out to K Cartel. My bad. I forgot to put my keypad up top here. So
if I ever go to Miami, I'm definitely hitting him up.
My fault.
Yo, K Cartel.
K Cartel. That was K Cartel, man. Miami, Florida, doing his thing. Super, super humble cat. Probably because he hasn't been polluted by CHH yet. Isn't that amazing when they first come in? You see how pure they are? Like, you see how, man, they have so much joy. And I'm like almost on the edge of my seat, like, dude, I want you to run, but I want you here, bro, because we need some of that spirit up in here, man. We need that pure, just like, you know what I'm saying? Just ready to fired up to serve, man.
I call it the kumbaya spirit.
So dope. K Cartel.
Nothing bothers you.
We love you, bro.
You could throw all the arrows you want, and they just bouncing off.
Yo, it's same thing like Tragic Hero, like brother, it's been a blessing, bro. The journey's been dope. Like, you have the artists out
God
there.
has been bringing some dope artists.
Yeah, you have them artists out there that are just
actually
so humble,
every artist
man.
we've had on the show has been dope.
Facts.
That in and of itself,
actually, the artists that we haven't had on the show have, it's a difference. That's why I'm just so thankful for the people that we had on. It's been a blessing, bro.
The way I see it, everybody who's here was meant to be here.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
Sovereignty. You know what I mean?
La soberanía. I don't even know if
we need some celebration sounds. We need some other stuff. Do this or whatever we need.
I feel like
I wish I had my keypad.
I love when you play that song, but when you play it in weird moments, like you did right now,
I wanted a celebration.
I try to find
what
meaning in it. Like, you're
what's this
celebrating a pork chop.
Hold up, what's this one do?
Yeah, see? Let's have fun with our sounds.
Hey, we have a variety of sounds.
We do, and you always using chuleta.
How are you supposed to use this sound? Like, I can't even tell you where that key is.
I would use that every time you finish a sentence.
Exactly. Imagine we just close up the show with that every single time. All right, thank you guys for rocking with Marrio Esco Live. Grace and peace till next week.
Love you guys. Exactly. Why don't we have fun like that? We got all them sounds. Man. Who cares?
All right. You see the Joyner Lucas and Will Smith track?
I did, actually.
Will Smith actually jumped on a track with Joyner Lucas, the one that he put out.
It's actually kind of fire.
I don't know how you call it, paying tribute to. Is that how you use it?
You mean the first one?
Yeah, Joyner Lucas.
He was kind of like paying tribute,
saluting or whatever. Yeah, and then Will Smith actually jumped on the track, and everybody had different.
They did
opinions.
a remix.
Everybody had different opinions.
Yeah.
Some people that were like, "He still got it," and then you had other people that were like, It's no wonder why he stopped.
It's no wonder why he stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this.
Hold up.
I'll say this.
Hold up.
I guess that's your verdict. Underwhelmed.
Oh, we going back to.
So
okay,
look, all
go
I'm
ahead,
saying
go
is,
ahead.
for Will Smith,
I love it.
it was the best he's ever done.
Babe, you know
For
why you're not
Will
laughing?
Smith.
'Cause you don't hear what's going on. Oh my goodness, if you could hear it.
For Will Smith, it was the
ahead.
best he's ever done. But as a lyricist, he was never known to be a lyricist. He was always the fun party guy that you want at your party to rap because he entertains you. But you don't invite him because you want to learn something or you want to like really get your mind blown by the creativity in his pad. Like that wasn't Will Smith ever. I mean, we're talking about
Josh says Gil needs a keypad with that one trumpet button. Button.
I know, man. That's why I'm like, yo, we need.
Summertime was fire.
It is fire, but you don't. All right, when you hear lyricism, do you think of Summertime?
No, I think of vibes.
Okay, but that's my point. He was known for vibes. He was the party guy. He was the guy you wanted to think.
Oh my goodness, that song brings back it does something to your to the blood in your veins, bro. Like as soon as you play that song, like you're just like, oh man, where's the cookout?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, where's the food? Where's the music? Where's
I
the
need some
people
ribs.
chilling? Yo, summer. It just brings you back. We need that for that.
I'm saying
what you were talking about.
But you don't think of lyricism is my point. So whenever he does a track, I never expect
Will Smith
to kill it.
So
in bars.
Would you say that?
I never do.
Okay, would you say intellect equals bars?
No, because not everybody knows how to formulate that intellect
so if I
into
could,
bars.
If I could rap like this, and it was what we call bars, right? We call it bars. If I could rap like a robot and spit with a cadence, right? Yep. And talk super like sound, like I'm dropping bars. Okay. Would you still say, oh man, that's bars? Do you like ignore the fact that it has a monotone voice in it that's like this?
No,
like, would you ignore
it? I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't ignore that. No
facts. So you gotta have some kind of variety and sound and up and down and pitch and whatnot.
Facts.
And so why are dudes afraid when the auto-tune gets put? Yo, you know where I'm going?
Afraid?
Why dudes get afraid when you have a trap? I hate having the same kind of argument, but I'm saying I'm
trying to hear the question.
What I'm saying is bars. What equals bars? Intellect equals bars, or what equals bars?
I think
how complex your metaphors are.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually whenever I hear the word bars after
you need the
rapper,
full package. You need the sound. Right?
Yeah.
You need
it depends because if it's a battle, there's no cadence, there's no style, but they're still
gotta
giving
have
bars.
A sound, bro. You can't just go up there in a battle and then be like all timid and talk a certain way. You still gotta carry
but there's
yourself.
No melody, there's no cadence,
but there's still an attitude, and you still carry. You know what? Your attitude carries the performance.
Yes, I agree.
So when they do all we would say gimmicks, right? Like it's not really gimmick when they're moving around and they're like,
they're signing like, I'm gonna end this man. I'm gonna. Flap, fling, and stab him.
Why did hold on? Hold on. Why did you just
grab
do that?
him?
Why did you just do that awkward pause? That's messed up. You're like messing with you're trying to make fun of their cadence. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna
kick clack.
Or they'd be like, hold on.
Cat.
Rewind on that. Hold on. Bring it back.
I'm saying, man. Is that not what they do? Is that not what they do? Is that part of their gimmick?
Pride gets in the way of the gimmick because you jump ahead of yourself and you carry that bar so dope that you've completely forgot the next bar.
Facts.
So you like leaving there hanging like
my favorite is when they're like in between bars.
What do I do?
And they know that it's coming.
And they try to pretend.
They like act like they the most papi chulo dude on the planet.
Yo.
They know the next bar is dope. They're like, when I click clack on this Kit Kat
on this guy.
And everybody's like, oh! And he's like, wait for it.
Yeah. Wait for it. No.
Because I click clack when I get back.
Yo,
and everybody's like, oh! He finishes after he finishes.
And what's so messed up is the dude the dude doesn't say anything, and the opponent is just like, "What in the world?" Like,
Facts. Or they have the universal face
say anything.
that even when the bars are fire, they're like,
This dude didn't say not a word.
no
What'd he
matter
say?
how
What'd he
fire the
say?
bars are.
What'd he say? Saran wrap.
Wait, what? Is there somebody who said that?
They had a rap battle. And there was a skit, and this dude would jump on, and he would just rhyme random dumb stuff, but the crowd would go crazy over anything that he said. So this dude,
It's basically every video that Kevin Hart does.
So the opponent will come in with bars like heavy, like da 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 da. Oh, and everyone's just like, ah. Then he comes on. He goes. He goes, oh, you think I can't rap? I can't rap. Saran rap. This and that. Like, it just goes on with chicken rap. And they're like, oh,
yes.
Chicken rap.
Facts.
Saran rap. Oh, they're all going crazy over all the nonsense he's saying.
Yeah, that's basically, what's his name? Kevin Hart's rap character.
I kind of get the same feel with Tekashi.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, legit.
Like everyone going
I feel
nuts.
ashamed as a human being that last video, which don't watch, got that many views in that quickly, because literally you can get the same effect
My
literally
bad.
going rap pat a tat rap pat doom back. You Big Mac. I get mad. You get mad. We gonna be mad all the time.
So listen, I was
That's
wrong.
basically the whole song.
Today we get two performances at once, bro. We got a rap from K Cartel and we got a rap from Gil Vargas here.
I get it in.
It's no wonder why you've been perfecting that, huh? Mm-hmm. The cadence and everything. You've been practicing or what?
It's not much to practice.
Are you threatened by Drake, who can sing and rap?
Not at all. Not at all.
Are
It's
you
evolution.
trying to? For the
music
singer.
evolves.
For the singer.
Yeah.
Oh.
If anything, he gave it another lane.
So what is your lane?
Because now you got Chris Brown.
What is your
rapping.
lane? Are you allowed to play on a Christian hip hop platform or no? What is your lane?
Am I allowed to be played on a Christian hip hop platform?
Listen, we talked about
it
that.
depends on the guidelines of the platform. Some platforms is cool with it.
Hip hop.
If it's strictly hip hop and they don't allow singing, then yeah,
But we had this convo.
You got rap.
What about Will Smith? Going back to Will Smith, did you think he was ill or not?
I think he had moments where it was impressive. Like that type of cadence, I never heard him do. That's a very lyrical cadence. And like I said, he's not known for that. So hearing him do that style, it was refreshing.
Do you think it was Will who reached out?
But it's not like I was like, oh my goodness, he murdered that. Like, he's back.
Do you think it was Will who reached out to Joyner to do this? Or do you think that Joyner reached out to Will?
I think it was a mutual thing. I think they just talked about it. And
you think he was like, yo, salute,
and I think he was
dope,
probably like, yo, why don't we just do the track?
And then Joyner was like, yo, man, that's fire, man. You always, encourage me. And then he was like, yo, why don't I just hop on real quick?
Knowing Will, I think he probably was just like, yo,
It's a dope moment.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do a track together. I think the people would love it,
I think it's a dope moment, honestly. I shared it. I thought it was dope. I'm like, yo, this is fire, man. Watching this kid. Again, we mentioned Joyner. Why does Joyner he's out there. He's doing his thing. But it just so happens that he's from our area. You know what I mean?
It kind of fit too, in a sense, because in the song, he talks about not having an Uncle Phil, and it was just recently the anniversary of his death.
Oh.
And Will Smith did a collage video with the cast, and they did like a collage going through the show and all the special moments that they had.
I didn't know that.
So it was kind of dope timing too, and I think that was probably part of Will Smith's motivation. Like, this is a dope time to celebrate.
I'm over here talking about my experience with fatherhood and wow.
And he pays homage to Will Smith in Fresh Prince, which Fresh Prince, we all know, made his career.
Bro, the way you just unfolded that's fire.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
I think it was perfect timing.
I didn't know all that stuff, but what I did know is, I heard the track and Will Smith, taking that opportunity to sort of not deflect, like he's respecting that this young person is looking up to him, but he's sort of deflecting that in a way that says, we're all looking up to each other in a way.
Yeah,
we're all
you look up to me, but I look up to people too.
He even mentioned his kid. He's like, I know you're gonna, do well raising your kid. Like, that's encouragement, like he's just encouraging him to just, live a good life.
Fact.
You know what I mean? And as Christians from afar, we celebrate that and say, yo, that's super dope. That moment is super dope because you see God's grace even in the midst of an area where God is not even mentioned. Like they're not even, they're not saying nothing. But I'm able to look at that and say, wow, God, because of God's grace, people desire to do good to one another. You know what I mean? That's grace.
Yeah.
That's grace. That there's any kindness, that there's any goodness, that there's anything like that at all is straight grace.
Amen.
Because you rip apart grace, you take away God's grace from anything, bro, chaos.
Yep.
Chaos. And we've seen it.
Yep.
We've seen it. I don't want to, beat a dead horse, but you go to Sodom and Gomorrah, we've seen what happens when God removes his grace.
And this is something that I've thought about, and sometimes you get reminded of it, and you're like, yo, that's crazy. Because like when you see like crazy things happen, like crazy murders or killing sprees and all this stuff, like you're like, man, I can't believe somebody actually had that in him to murk somebody. But the reality is, we all have that in us.
Wow.
It's sin.
Oh, you
know what I'm
potted,
saying?
bro. you potted.
That's the crazy part, is that we all have it. It's by God's grace that we don't act upon those carnivorous desires, man.
Let's use the Pharisees as an example. They didn't kill nobody. They didn't go out and kill nobody. Their records were squeaky clean. But God don't be judging the records that's built by the standards of men.
Facts.
So here's Christ saying, "Oh, you heard, you shall not kill, you shall not murder." But I tell you, whoever hates their brother committed a murder in their heart.
Got him.
Whoops. Check.
That's when somehow some
whoops.
Random
Hold on
farmer
a second.
comes
If
in
I
and
get
goes, whoopsie.
If I get angry with somebody, like, hold on a second, like angry with somebody, yeah, brother, they killed Jesus. Facts. They killed him.
Yep.
Facts. They wanted him gone, bro. He was a threat. He was a threat to their system. He was a threat to their infrastructure.
Facts.
Jesus was a threat to the infrastructure.
Yep.
They were like, no, get him out of here. He's a threat to the system, man. He's
Like,
going to disrupt this whole system. He's going to make them all free in Christ, in truth. They're going to be free in truth, and they're going to be able to think for themselves. Oh, no. Like, yo.
That's why I think, sometimes a story, like, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but sometimes the story of Jesus makes me laugh. Because these Pharisees was constantly trying to trick him.
Right.
And every single time, he would say the right thing, and they'd be like, gosh darn it.
How do we get him the next time?
He was so intelligent, that crafty one.
He's crafty. They were blaming him for being...
I'm like, yo,
he's crafty.
I don't understand.
No,
like,
he's truthful, bro.
If you hate him, regardless if he says something good or not, just if you're going to murk him.
They had to get him, bro.
But that's my point.
They're the crafty ones. They're trying to find a way to trap him up. If they can find a way to trap him up, then they got him. Boom. Prove it.
But that's my thing. It's like the people that were following this, then how dumb can you be? Because you're giving them all these difficult situations. Like, what about
That's
this?
What blindness
and
does.
then he's like, boom, 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 boom. After a while, I'll be like, you know what, guys? Maybe he's not so bad.
maybe he's
guys.
Well, bro,
are we judging the right guy? Because man, he answers perfectly.
One of them
every time.
One of them actually did, bro. One of them actually did. One of the wise Jews came up to them and he said, "Hey, listen, let them go." He said, "Because if they are of God, then we'll see. Let them go. They'll flourish. They'll do what they do. You know.
Yeah.
But if you beat them and they are of God, you're guilty. Let them go. Let whatever happens, happens."
Which is the most sensible
One
thought.
of them was smart enough to be like, yo.
No, but even still, that was sort of like what I was saying. But I mean, the fact of all the evidence of him speaking perfectly, answering perfectly, quoting scriptures, like he was constantly just making them look stupid all the time. Yeah. Like at what point do you look back and be like, you know what, guys? Maybe he's not.
You know what, guys?
Maybe we should leave him alone because he makes us stupid a lot. Every time we give him something, we come out looking dumb.
Yeah.
Let's leave this dude alone.
Nah, bro. And they actually got it to the point where they got what they wanted. Well, thinking
They ended up having to lie.
They got what they wanted. No, I'm saying, well, they got to the point where they got what they wanted. I mean, of course, they lied. They bared false witness, but they got what they wanted. They found a way to get him. Oh, blasphemy. He says he's this. Got him. Got him. He says he's this. Blasphemy. As yet, still Christ had a way to say I'm God without fully saying, like, it has to be by faith, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the part is that, like,
I mean, he did say, but it's not like, no, it is clear. It is clear. God, the Father, Christ. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that regardless, it's crazy because when you look at then and now, like if somebody was to say that now, they'd be like, this crazy, dude. And it's crazy. Like,
oh, yeah, like
the
they write them off?
That they have.
They'll just write them off?
Nowadays, if somebody was to be like, I am God, I am Jesus Christ, and I am your Lord and Savior.
They'll be like, oh, this nut.
Like, this is crazy fool.
Anyway, another nut. No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's just another crazy guy.
But back in those days, he was over here like, I am the Christ. Like, I am the King of the Jews.
Yeah.
And they're like, blasphemy, let's kill him.
Because they knew, brother. That's why, man. They knew.
I know, but that to me is what validates.
The depravity was so like.
It just shows if God's sovereignty.
Think of it like this. Think of it like this. Second coming, Christ comes back. Believers are running to him.
Facts. He was gathering crowds.
Unbelievers are running away. Believers are running to. And you look at Moses. When the volcano was all dark and the storm and all this craziness, I can imagine that, bro. You're like, yo, that volcano gonna erupt. That's an erupting volcano. I'm out. Like, no way. Here's Moses climbing up into that mess. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he comes down with his face all glowing. Like, what? He just saw an alien. What is going on here? Dude's face is glowing. We gotta put a veil on his face. Like, his face is glowing. Can you imagine that? I saw God. And then he tells you that. What happened? I saw God.
It was Soul Glow.
What?
I put Soul Glow on.
Like, what?
It's that Soul Glow.
So, all that to say, yeah, I respect what Will Smith did.
Yeah.
Next subject.
I respect it. Now I'm going to neglect it.
Y'all are crazy if this ain't the show. Y'all are crazy if this ain't the show. So Tekashi 6ix9ine calls out the Billboard charts. Billboard.
Oh man,
you're denying me number one. Ariana Grande is cheating.
Yeah, man.
She just submitted 60,000 units last minute. Where did the 60,000 come from?
He was talking about a point system. Like, I didn't know.
Oh, he went off.
He's like, this is 3.5 points above in a matter of 24 hours. And in order for you to get those kinds of points, you have to be. I'm like, what is he talking about?
Well, he was tripping over his stuff. But I bet you if he was like,
I didn't know there was a point system.
Hey man, he buried himself with that, bro. You cannot work with any kind. You're blackballing yourself, man.
I would say if what he was saying is true, because I don't know anything about that stuff, how billboards work or what they can or can't do.
He's done.
All I'm saying is that there's a better way to air out the grievances, and if you just take it for what it is, it just sounds like a little kid crying.
You are doing this so beautifully. Are you doing this on purpose?
No, I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like. It
sounds like those in line.
And it's like, if you're gonna complain,
line is it in anyway? What?
Do it,
where the points don't matter. Yo, facts. But they actually do. They count them. And there's rules. So they said something that you can spend up to 6. You can use 6 credit cards to buy a certain amount of units.
It makes sense. And even if it wasn't them, I mean, you telling me they don't have the power to just contact a bunch of people and be like, buy this right now.
You know what that does? That forces everybody to max out 6 credit cards, if that's the case.
Facts.
So you just you're charging me a fee to even submit my music to the charts. I don't know if there is. I'm ignorant to this. I'm the little guy.
I'm not in this, but it doesn't take rocket science to know that it's a money game.
And I'm just going to keep rambling anyway.
If you think about streams,
deal with it.
You think about streams, you think about the way music is consumed nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be a way that the big fish is going to be able to manipulate in ways that the little guys can't do.
Of course.
So you got Sony, like the ones he was complaining about, these mega giants. They can throw money in all types of ways that we don't even know exist. Just like how you see an artist blow up overnight.
Yeah. How
Overnight,
did that
all of a
happen?
sudden, because they got the money to contact Instagram, Twitter, all these things, and make them literally.
Can I say this?
A sensation
Can I share an
overnight.
experience that happened with me, or is that illegal?
Go ahead, bro.
Nah, I shouldn't. do it.
I don't know. Did you sign an NDA?
No, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I know.
Sign an NDA, then shed it.
This is completely unrelated. Actually, an unrelated thought. Suddenly,
Isn't that a time when you go Eureka?
yo, I know of a system that you can use, and everybody knows this probably. Everyone's gonna be like, duh. I know of systems that
Not
you can
everybody.
use where you can buy subscriptions, you can buy views. You can legit pay money for views on your
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yes.
Legit.
I agree.
There are systems
data.
out there that
It's-
exist that you can legit say how much for 1,000 views.
Yep.
Oh,
I get it.
Here you go. And all of a sudden, in a matter of a payment,
Mhm.
you go back to YouTube and 1,000 views.
Yep.
There's-
And you can follow that easily by if you see somebody who all of a
And I
sudden
know this
is
for a
getting
fact.
crazy views.
Not because I've used it, but I know this because I've seen the system.
No, I know, but I'm sure that
You could just Google it. It's
but now
available.
you don't even have to do that. Everybody knows at least one person where they probably didn't think about it, and now I'm just explaining to you what you just saw that you didn't get. When you see somebody on there who shares something, all of a sudden they get 500 views, 600 views, 700 views, 800. You're like, what is going on? I know this person ain't popping like that. And then after a few months later, they got 100 views again.
Thanks, Josh.
Or 50. And
My
you're
hackers.
like, what
I need
happened to the
hackers.
800, 600?
We need Marrio Esco Live
I thought they
hackers.
were popping. And all of a sudden they go
We
back
need-
to the 50 likes.
We need 2,000
They were
subscribers on
using
YouTube, by
bots.
the way.
You need what?
We need 2,000 subscribers
any hackers
on
out
YouTube,
there?
by the way.
Any good hackers who can't be
Yeah,
traced?
we need 2,000.
Because all these ones we're talking about right now are the ones that were traced.
If we get
We
2,000
need some untraceable
subscribers,
guys.
that's going to be insane, man. If like I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, hold up a second, who did
and
this?
it exists because not too long ago
Yo, that
there was a story about
No, that
50
won't be
Cent.
fire. That's dishonest. No, we're Christian.
Hey, if it happens outside of our will,
If it happens,
out of my control,
Yo,
I can't fix it.
some people won't
I'm
laugh
not.
at
I'm
that.
not a hacker, so I can't
Some
fix
people
it.
won't laugh at that.
Hey, you don't have to laugh because it's
We're
not
gonna get a
happening.
comment. We're gonna get a
It's
comment.
not gonna happen. I'm just saying, if it
Thanks, bro.
happens, say la vie.
Say la vie.
Uh,
Oh, say la vie. Say la vie. Here we go. We're back.
la vie.
Marrio Esco Live is back, man. Marrio Esco Live is back. Ah, yes. Where have you been? Dang, I am spreading all kinds of germs, dapping you up and high-fiving you, bro. Not cool, man.
Oh.
Sammy, sanitizer,
That's when you were
please.
right there is when you were supposed to hit the button that
Oh,
goes
shoot.
wash your hands.
That was
Wash your
dope.
hands. Do you still have that?
Speaking of
sound?
airing out your grievances, now we're going to stumble upon a subject that caused up a little bit of controversy online for me.
Mhm.
But not for,
For
me.
you.
Not for me specifically. No, I think people were actually having decent conversation about the subject. And I don't want to. I'm
Is
not
this
going
one
to.
of those troll bombs you throw and then you just wait?
No,
and see,
actually,
and
this
all the
wasn't one of
explosion?
those. You know why? Because when I throw troll bombs, I never explain myself. And I do that on purpose because I do it just enough for them to be like, we can't get him. You know what I mean? Like the Pharisees, the Pharisees are trying to
You're
get me,
airing
you know?
out on public that you
Yeah.
do bombs.
Yeah, I
for
do
the
little
purpose of,
bombs to be like,
I can't
yeah.
get it.
And I'm like, yeah, ha.
He's
And
like,
then I do
that
this.
is borderline simple.
I do this in my head. Chuleta. And then I eat a chuleta. It tastes better. No.
Let me dip it in some
It tastes
sofrito
better
juice.
when I'm bitter. No.
It tastes better when I'm bitter.
Oh my goodness. Back at it, 100. Nah, real talk. Okay, going back. Ron, that's not of God. Yo, Ron, bro, I love you, brother. I had a dope convo with Ron. Ron, I'm gonna be reaching
you
out to
said
you
that to me
more.
earlier, but
Yo,
you didn't
fire,
explain.
man, fire. Talk about mentorship, man. Like I just talked to that dude for a good 10 minutes.
Yo,
and-
Ron is that dude.
And all of a sudden, I just realized like 6 different truths about myself. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. Like, dude, like you should be a therapist.
No, Ron
You know,
is
like-
a verbal monk.
I'm like, dude,
Like a kung fu monk.
Goodness,
So you went with one thing and he was like,
yo, super fire. We love you, bro. And I'm looking forward to
and walked away
continue
with the
to
meaning of
serve
life.
alongside you, man. I put out a post. I think it was today. I don't know. I've been posting, But I put out a post about Jesus and John the Baptist's relationship and how
that was a great post, bro.
Thank you, I appreciate
really
it, man. It had me thinking, bro.
It had me thinking.
By God's grace,
because I actually thought about that after you said. I'm like, why didn't he choose John the Baptist?
Yeah, you would think.
He was an excellent choice.
You would think, like, who am I going to choose?
I didn't even think of
how
that.
about the guy who spent all his life proclaiming you?
I bet you all the people was like,
and baptize you? Like,
look at that. He even pick you, bro. And what? Say something.
I think at one point they did. I think at one point his disciples were like, hold on a second. What about his disciples? Like, at one point they were questioning each other's like motives and stuff.
Crazy.
You know? Like,
I know I'd be like, I feel salty.
It was like
salty.
actually, now that I think about it, bro, there was a questioning amongst the group.
I don't remember the questioning,
dude. Oh man,
why they didn't consider
thing.
John the Baptist?
Okay, let's jump to our next topic. My bad.
Please
right.
excuse my laymaness.
It's something that was related to Christian hip hop that came across our feed, obviously, because we try to do our due diligence and studying up in the culture and whatnot. And there was a difference that happened between in the mainstream between a producer who happens to be a OG Christian hip hop artist, like from the past.
Yep.
I don't know if it's before Cross Movement or what. But yeah, so calling out another artist, something about differences between the production. So the gist of the story is, and I don't know the whole details. I'm not talking about something I don't know about nothing about. I want to take apart like the things that we can learn from it
and the possibilities.
Yeah, right. Facts. So I don't want to name drop that. That ain't what this is about. What it's about is there's something happening that's in the culture. And I was just telling Gil about this too. I'm like, yo, don't we have a sense of responsibility to the culture that we're a part of? Like, if you think that you're a Christian and you think you're an artist in the hip hop genre or the community, don't you have a sense of responsibility for that community that you're a part of? Somewhat, in some way, some shape or form or fashion.
And not only that, but if there's a grievance, you should be allowed to talk about it.
Like, dude, we cannot be sitting here in this pond that we're all swimming in and watch somebody just straight pouring some, doing this thing in the pond, right? And I'm gonna ignore him and pretend like I didn't see that, and look over here. Like, eventually that poison is gonna creep its way over to me.
Yep.
So who's gonna be the guy to try to assist this whole thing? That's why I always talk about accountability. I always talk about those things, and then I use these things as an example because it's real. It happened. Yep. It's out there. Regardless of whether you want to, regardless of how you see it or not, or who you associate with or who you don't associate with, the moment you slap Christian hip hop together, you have automatically put yourself in the same pond with everybody else who also embraces that title. And that's a fact. I don't care what kind of argument, what kind of argument can you come up with that? I try to be super, super careful the way I word things. Like, I'm like, when I'm not trying to troll and I'm trying to be genuine and sincere, I put in all caps in parentheses, like my point, like what I'm trying to say.
Because they're coming with the math.
Because I know. So I try to answer the arguments before they come. And then they still come.
It still came. It still came,
and then they still come.
Yo, people don't read things, man. It makes no difference. You could have wrote, I am a chicken. I am the biggest pancake head in the planet. And they won't even read any of that. They just gonna read the fine.
Why don't we do this? I'm gonna read my post. Why don't we do that? Let's start there. Let me read my post. And this ain't about me. I'm not the answer to all. I'm not saying that. I'm just sharing what happened. I put in all cap in parentheses, I do not know both sides of the story, but I commend a brother who speaks up when done wrong. Right? Self-explanatory. If you see the video, it's a whole different story. That's why I said, I don't know both sides of the story. Like, I'm trying to remove myself from that. And then I said, miss me with that one-on-one stuff too, because everybody says, well, if somebody's done wrong, meet with them one-on-one. But my thinking is when somebody escapes, what happens in a scenario when somebody escapes, that doesn't apply. So then I say, that doesn't apply to individuals who take advantage, then disappear. I'm not saying, and then I put in parentheses, let me just read it. Yep. Again, not talking about this specific story as I do not have all the facts, but people do indeed do this in the genre.
Yeah.
And then I finish with just simply, I pray this producer doesn't get robbed. That's it. I leave it at that.
Yep.
The dude sent his track. I don't know exactly the whole thing, but sent his track without the proper, channels from what I gather on the
And by proper channels, you mean there was
not
no
proper channels, proper
no
business practices.
Yeah, no agreements,
formal
no contracts.
no formal contract. And then the artist started tampering with the production, and that's where this whole
Disagreement
thing happened. Yeah. Now it's like you're tampering with my intellectual property, and now you're panicking, and you're like, "Yo, what you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, you're messing with my track. What do you? What's the plan? What's going on?"
And the artist stops communicating.
And then the artist stops communicating. You stop panicking, and now you're reaching out like back over weekend. I'm talking like 2 days, 3 days, whatever it was, back to back. And then other things unfolded out of that.
Honestly, and like you said from the beginning, we don't know all the
details
facts and all the details, but just from what that was said on that video, I mean, it is in his right
Josh,
to protect his intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that seemed to be the main focus of his concern was what is going on with my intellectual property. That I'm not being communicated. I'm not being asked. I'm not,
but you
being
sent
involved.
But you sent
But at the same time, he sent it without any safeguard. Like, if anything, if you're going to send an artist something, and we know people, too, who've had their music straight jacked that ended up being $1 million ideas.
Baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you grab me otra café, please?
And, you guys saw on live television how
Please,
I just
mama.
completely ignored everything I was saying.
No, I'm
for a coffee.
I'm
What did I
listening
just
to you.
say?
You're talking about the intellectual property and his concern with that. That sounds like that's his main concern with people.
Wow.
Go ahead, bro. I got you. We're talking, bro. We're chopping it up. We're back. I'm just talking to Gil right now, and I'm with my friends right now. Like, we're chilling. Did Marrio just speak Spanish?
Yeah, he did.
Yo, you got me. Yo, you got me. I'm getting too comfortable. I'm getting way too comfortable, bro.
We home, bro.
Next week I'm gonna be chilling with chancletas.
We home
for real, like just like.
But I think honestly that was his main concern.
Yeah, that's
and I don't think
hilarious.
that's Brown.
Go ahead.
I just think he handled it incorrectly. You know what I'm saying? I think there was verbiage. And
I gotta be
words
honest.
in
When
there.
we were listening to it again, and I heard the ending of the video, I was like, "Oh snap!" I didn't hear that.
Man. He kind of went a little extra towards
there
the
was
end.
some threats, sort of like hinting at
gesture.
gestures. Yeah,
Gestures.
like hints and gestures at.
It was a little bit of a
brother
clenching.
man, like you want me to come to the crib? But I feel, yo, bro, real talk. Here we go. Let's talk about this for real. You can't assume that people all come from different, the same background and the same upbringing that you come from when you're dealing with people who hold on or embrace a title like Christian hip hop. You can't automatically assume the fruit that these people bear are gonna be, holy at your level. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. Like, you're messing with artists. Like, oh, yo, this, that. Like, what are we supposed to do? I think I mentioned this before. What are we supposed to do? Like a swab check, like a swab test.
You
like,
can't.
Is he Christian or not? Like, real quick. Like, oh man, he's about to come on the show. He has dope music. Let me test his blood. Like, what do you? It's ridiculous, man. Like, if we had a respect, ready? Here we go. If we had a respect for hip hop, right, and we saw it as a tool that can be used, right, and the church would come alongside hip hop, which I'm hearing, by the way, Ron, thank you so much, that there are people who are recognizing this and they're doing this and they're nourishing people in our genre, in our communities, platforms like this, where they realize that these are platforms that can be used to reach a certain demographic of people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they respect it. They see it. They understand it. There's a calling for it. There's a desire for it. There's skill for it. There's resources. There's connections. There's stories. I could show you, man, you want me to show you screenshots of the things that we've experienced with the show alone? With the artists we built with the people we built with, man, it's fire. It's dope. There's a community.
I'm humbled.
But if we had the proper channels to nourish these talents and these abilities, we would have a better accountability system, because someone like Stephen the Levite jumps on and says, Matthew does apply to this. Because I said, miss me with that one-on-one stuff. Miss me with that.
Yeah.
You got a problem, like, and you're robbing me? Like, there comes a time where, miss me with that. I'm going to come see you. Miss me with that. We're going to talk. And that's just real. That's not awkward. I hope that people are real enough to acknowledge road rage. There you go. Like, everybody should be like, oh yeah, like everybody and a pastor, an elder should listen to this right now and be like, road rage, click. Oh, I get it.
No, but the thing is,
the
one-on-one thing is only if the other person allows it.
Where do you draw the line on trusting someone? There you go. Go ye. Thank you. Preach, Marrio. The prayer plug. Love you. And next week, tongues, Josh. Man, I love y'all. We're just friends rocking. Forget the rest of the world. We're just friends rocking.
What if the other person doesn't want to?
Huh?
In order for a grievance, because it's that one-on-one thing, like, oh, you can still exercise the one-to-one. What if the other person doesn't want to?
Exactly. So
the other person has to have a desire.
Follow what I'm saying. If we had a proper respect for these channels and these platforms, the church, if the church had a proper respect for these kinds of platforms, they would be aware and equipped to nourish people from these communities. And they will help them to understand their calling. If you don't understand my community, how are you going to understand the purposes that I have in my life? Why do you think that they send pastors to other countries and they build up what? Churches. Pastors, how do they build up the churches?
Oh, by raising up more pastors.
There you go. Who understand and can better serve that community. It's not about racist. It's not about none of that. The word of God is enough. We understand that. Yep. But there are people that are better equipped and come alongside people that have a different pain than they are normal, than they understand.
Yep.
It's a blessing when you have a believer who's a doctor. You know what I'm saying? He would steer you to the right way without compromising your faith in any kind of way, without taking drugs that you'll be hooked to or addicted to, because he understands the medical culture. There's a whole terminology, a whole way of thinking, a whole way of talking, a whole kind of what they say, PTSD. They experience, like right now during this pandemic, there's first responders and all these people that are out there in the front lines facing real traumatic situations. That's a whole entire culture that I wouldn't understand. And then we come in mad disrespectful. The gospel is enough. And the gospel is enough. Get yourself up. And then you walk away. Put your mask on. Gospel is enough. Bro, love these people, man.
Facts.
Love these people. That's not the Christ I know. I'm sorry, bro. I'm wrestling with this thing. Maybe I'm going too deep right now. Should I stop, Gil? You're my boy. You're my co-host. Should I stop right now? I'm just saying, brother.
This is getting spicy.
Hey. I'm just saying, if we had proper channels, going back to the point, because I do have a point.
Yep.
If we would nourish these ministries and treat them with respect, we would now have the communication and the infrastructure within the churches.
I think
churches.
But the thing is that in order for this to happen, the churches need to be educated in these cultures, because if the norm is what's being practiced all the time, and there's no new norm, or there's no challenging, or there's no questions being asked, then the norm will always be the same. So, like, for an example, like you said, they send pastors to raise up other pastors. That's a very common ministry. Missionary work where they go to countries and feed and preach the gospel as well. You got ministries within the church, teaching ministries, all these ministries. But if they don't know that there's different ministries like hip hop ministries and
because they laugh
urban
at that.
ministries,
because it's a joke.
It's a joke to them because they don't understand it.
It's a laughing matter.
If you can actually articulate how it's being impactful.
Hip hop is like a contextualization of a culture. Like the whole culture is just a contextualization. like they just completely dead our ministry because it's like that whole thing is contextualizing. Like what? Like dude,
I think with proper education and also nowadays you have video documentation.
Just
you can see that these rappers drawing crowds and how they preach the gospel at these crowds. Like, to me, that's evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think any well-thought human being will be able to look at that video evidence that we can provide nowadays and show that it is a viable ministry that should be nourished and taken care of in the church. And I would even ask, if you don't want to nourish me, who would you qualify? Who would be better qualified? Then steer me in the right direction of who can nourish me. If you feel you're not qualified or nor have the desire to learn, to be equipped to nourish me, then at least point me to someone who is willing to do it. And I think that's an honest, great conversation to have with the church to start the process of educating these churches.
Facts. And you know
maybe
what?
They will be like, you know what, Marrio, if I would have known this 5 years ago, I probably would have helped you.
Facts.
But if we don't say anything.
Oh my goodness, bro.
If we don't say anything, then we can't complain.
We are already over our time. That's crazy. Yo, I want to. No, but okay. So go ahead. Finish your thought.
I'm just saying. I think that we need to have more conversations with our leaders.
We'll rock.
I think that's the most important thing. If we want this to change, and churches need to view music ministry as a viable ministry and not just contemporary music, but rap, R&B, hip hop, all of it, then those conversations need to be had so that the church can see it.
Facts, bro.
And say, yo, this is a viable ministry.
Yeah.
I don't see any difference in
it's
results
it's like
between this rap artist and this evangelist.
We're the unnourished like soil, like we're the unnourished soil that's like, it's just by God's grace that we're having these conversations, and you know what I'm saying, and realizing this more and more, and connecting with other individuals. Look at the prayer plug just said, "My life is evidence of CHH ministry." You understand that? Like CHH out in ATL, Goyi. I don't know where you at. Where's Goyi at? Goyi where he's at. Like there's a lot of artists that are sprinkled about, that are a part of this thing, you know what I mean? That are a part of the community. There's a real community here. There's a real community, and it's a leaderless. Not in all areas, because I'm not fully informed, but there are people that I'm hearing that are understanding this and that are actually addressing this. They're actually supporting ministries like this, like acknowledging this as ministry and taking full responsibility of nourishing the desires and the talents and the resources, and you know what I'm saying? Accountability, mentorship,
things are definitely heading in the right direction.
You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like there's more and more people understanding
You've
that.
seen literally the breath of life.
DC, go ahead.
It's crazy. It's becoming what I've wanted it to become since we started this thing.
Yeah.
You know, new artists are being put out. You got people like the Prayer Plug, you know, constantly putting out new artists, constantly showing what else is out there. You know, even Rapzilla I've seen great strides in Rapzilla, which that was one of our biggest grievances when we first started. You see in a lot of different platforms. You know, you got 520, you know,
Track Stars,
Unashamed, Track Stars,
GHD Radio.
It's crazy how vast this is becoming. G3 Radio is another one.
And then the thing is, like, if you're gonna complain about it and you're not doing nothing for it,
exactly,
it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not productive.
Exactly.
It's here. It exists. So how do you address it? You know what I'm saying? So I'll finish with this, man, because we're over at time. But Stephen the Levite chimed in. So shout out to Stephen the Levite. He was actually on the show too a while back. I would like to say he's a fan of the show, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know what the community. Nothing against Stephen the Levite, but that community is just like, I'm a part of a community that's like, what is this guy doing in here?
I think every community
get this dude up out of here. What's he
every
doing
community
in here?
right now is looking at us.
He got
like,
the illest CHH radio that we all refuse to acknowledge. We're all like this. Pretend like it's not there. Pretend like it's not there. Keep listening to that trash. All right, let's stop with Stephen the Levite. Here we go. He says, if it's not resolved on the church level, or if it's a legal issue and you have to take it to court, it is what it is. So if there's nothing that you can do on a church level, well then take it to court.
Yep.
Fight legally. You know, that was one of my arguments too. It's like, what are you supposed to do? You can't sue him. Like, what are you supposed to do? You can't sue the Christian. You can't. What are you supposed to do?
That's what I'm saying. I understand the reasoning behind it. Is just you could tell that as he was talking about it, and the more he dove into his emotions, the angrier he got. And and the reason why you could tell that is because towards the end it becomes more and more aggressive.
Something different. Yeah.
It grew and grew and grew and grew until it got ugly.
Yeah.
So that's the part where I was like, you were doing good at first, just at least explaining the difficulties and your frustrations. I don't agree with the not knowing everything because it's still fresh. I think more needs to be spoken about. Because we're living in a time with the pandemic. There's a lot of things that could have happened in that situation. We don't, like we said, we don't know the full story. I don't even think the person who put the video up knows the entire story because he hasn't heard from the other artists.
Right.
So there's a whole story that hasn't been told yet.
So he's saying if you can't hold them accountable with church practices, then you bring them to court.
Facts.
Heretics are condemned publicly. but I don't know if we have biblical grounds for publicly outing somebody. So there's proper channels. I like that, man. I like what he says here. Think about this too. If you were Lecrae, there's their name.
What?
There's one name. If you were Lecrae and you really wanted a personal conversation with this dude now,
Cat's out the bag.
he just posted screenshots of hold on, I'm sorry. Would you really want to have a personal conversation with this dude now if you were him? He just posted screenshots of your text messages, private conversation for everybody to see. Can you really trust him personally? And so then he goes through this whole thing of understanding logically the situation. Now, if you want attention or you just want to make me look bad, then go for it. But if I do repent or it turns out that it was just a misunderstanding, you're gonna look real bad and feel bad when you can't stuff all those feathers back into the pillow that you just ripped open on the rooftop. So the damage is done, is what he's saying. Yeah. You ripped the pillow, all the feathers came out. It's going to be real ugly when you're trying to
That's why it's important
put everything
to
back
get
together.
all the facts. It's
right.
very important.
He went street towards the end.
He
did.
It's like he definitely allowed his emotions to get the best.
I don't condone that. I don't like that. In that area, that's not. Again, this ain't about the situation. It's like, what can we learn from it? Number one, before you, hey, creative tip before we bounce. All right, let's do this real quick. Yeah. Creative tip before you bounce. Ready? Oh, it's supposed to be from K Cartel, but he ain't here. But we love you. I'm gonna leave the pickup. Actually, I'm gonna leave the pickup.
This is dedicated to K Cartel
because I love K Cartel. So we'll leave it up out of love and respect from K Cartel. K Cartel told me this. How about that? Number one. This is what K Cartel told me. Number one. Before you send your stuff to anybody, make sure that you got the proper paperwork and the terms and conditions are agreed upon.
Protect yourself.
Protect your intellectual property, number one. Yep. Perfect lesson learned from this. This is great.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of independent Christian hip-hop artists that are going to come stumbling upon this thing. Number one, protect your intellectual property. No
matter who it is.
Number two, expect some changes to be made with your production.
Yep.
Unless they agree, unless there's an agreement made, expect it to happen.
Yep.
Because you just set something off and you pretty much give the person the free reins because you're like, yo, do your thing. You give somebody the free, so expect it. You know what I mean? Yep. If it's your boy and you don't care, then it's not a problem. But if it's a bigger artist and you're trying to do business out of it, well, then treat it like business. Here's another tip, even if they're a Christian brother.
Facts.
Know when it's just you and your boys, and know when it's business.
And this is the reason why we're saying this, because it's not a matter of whether they're Christian or not, and that because they're Christian they could be just as shady. No, this is just intelligent.
This is just
business
everything
practices.
Everything, yeah.
If you are putting your work out there for grabs, you need to have protection.
Yeah.
So that way, if anything happens,
yep.
You are protected.
You're covered.
Yep.
You're covered.
It doesn't matter who it is.
You won't have to worry or stress about situations like this.
Doesn't matter.
If there was an agreement made before this was sent, this wouldn't even happen. This wouldn't even be a problem.
We have to treat it with the same seriousness that we would treat other things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
a house. You build a house. You're not going to just give somebody a house,
right,
and then they're going to start changing it and be like, no, I'm fine with that.
So some people might not know how to do that. You can go to like copyright, what's it, Gov? We got to find a link. But if it's out there. There's links out there. Like you can go to whatever it is.
US and that whole mail it to yourself is not. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, no. The poor man's
copyright. Yeah, don't do that to yourself.
No. You do have stuff that backs you up, but you want to take the proper procedures to protect your intellectual property.
People
so there you go.
Just mail it to yourself. That's a poor man's copyright.
Stuff. Trademark your stuff. Protect your stuff. Don't jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
Don't before anything is met. Like don't just say things off the cuff. Don't just have accountability. Make sure before you make moves that you pass it amongst brothers and sisters that you trust and see what they say about it. Just move cautiously. You don't want to burn bridges, that you can never rebuild again. And I pray that, or at the end of the day, this could be all stunt. And there's going to be a fire track that comes out of this, and we all got played. And it was what was it called? Outrage marketing.
How did that just come on the show?
It was called Outrage Marketing.
Outrage Marketing.
I don't know. Maybe we're getting played, and there's going to be a fire track
You
that
just
comes
do
out.
this crazy, ridiculous thing that attaches to a story, and people go nuts, and then you release a project attached to it, and it sells like crazy. Outrage Marketing.
Yep. Josh says, sometimes I think Christians ignore business sense, but it's not wrong. It's important. I think there are enough proverbs about being gentle as doves and shrewd as serpents. Is it shrewd? Shrew as serpents.
I think it is shrewd.
It is shrewd, right? As serpents.
That's fine. I know what
Right.
you meant.
All right, cool. Brood as vipers. Brood? Broad? Brood?
Gentle
Brood
as
as
doves
vipers.
or shrewd as serpents.
You know. Wifey getting it ready. All right, yo, I love y'all. Grace and peace. Till next week. Laters. Hopefully y'all will bless. Share the show, man. Spread the word.
Love y'all.
2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Where am I? Nah. Where my saints?
Yo, we just buy them.
Yeah, no, hey, grace and peace, y'all. Laters.
If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to check out my Facebook music page, Marrio Esco 1. Again, 2 R's in my name, the number 1 at the end, Marrio Esco 1. Be sure to like and follow that page because I like to give updates on who I'll be interviewing and leave a description on what we'll be talking about. And I also like the real-time one-on-one back and forth interaction. If you don't have the time to join us on Facebook Live, be sure to check out my podcast. It's called Marrio Esco Live, 2 R's in my name. Again, you'll see the white silhouette of myself with the cross underneath. Be sure to subscribe to that and follow the link as well to whatever podcast you're using or however you're receiving the podcast, and leave us a review. We love to hear feedback. You can also hit me up at music@marioesco.com and just hit me up with some feedback and ways that we can improve the show or the things that you like and enjoy. Any type of feedback will be highly appreciated. Grace and peace.
Yo, I got to show love to my listeners. Josh says, play the trumpet.
So we playing the
We
trumpet?
got you, brother.
Yeah.
We got you, brother.
Get it.
You thought it
Get
was.
it while it's
we
hot.
got you, brother. We love you.
Get it while it's hot.
Laters.
Chula.